If you have recently applied a patch to your Visual Studio and you realize that your USB attached Android is not listed in here, this is how you could recover all that shenanigan. First, you're going to go to Tools and you go to Get Tools and Features. A pop-up window will appear after a brief moment here. Once that thing is loaded, you're going to go to this individual component and you're going to scroll all the way down looking for something called USB device connectivity. Make sure you put a check next to it and click on install while downloading. Then click on modify. Of course, before you proceed any installation, you're going to have to close your Visual Studio first and click on continue. After that brief moment of excitement, close your Visual Studio installer and launch your Visual Studio again one more time. At this point, go ahead and connect your Android device via USB and check to see if this thing has your Android attached to it. If you are still not seeing your Android attached to your Visual Studio, there's a couple of things you can check. Press Windows X to open this pop-up, and in this pop-up, you're going to go Device Manager. And once the Device Manager window gets loaded, go and check and make sure that your USB device, there's no yellow exclamation triangle in there. If you don't have that, which means your USB connection is good. Next thing you can do is also open a command prompt by pressing Windows R and type CMD, which is going to launch a command prompt in here. In here, you're going to type adb.exe. If you get the command not recognized like this, it simply means that your ADB path is not set up correctly. I do know that my ADB is located in going to be c:/program files. In here, you're going to navigate to Android and then Android SDK. And under that, there's a directory called Platform Tools. And in there, I do have this exe file called adb.exe. What you're going to have to do to trigger that would be to say adb.exe devices like that. This simply means that your ADB server is able to detect your Android mobile device. Now, if you go back to your mobile device under developer option, you toggle the USB debugging and allow USB debugging with this key here. And after that, we go back to our Visual Studio and see if we can see our Android device. It's a bummer, we don't see it. Next thing you can do is to restart your ADB server. To do that, you're going to say ADB and you're going to say kill server, which is going to stop your ADB services. And then to start, simply replace the word kill with start. Once that's done, you're going to say ADB devices and hit enter. And if you look at your Android device, there should be a message saying allow USB debugging, and click on allow. And then let's go to our Visual Studio here one more time. And if it's still not working for you, you're going to go to properties under launch settings JSON. You're going to open that. And on the profile, you're going to add one more profile called local Android like this. And then go ahead and save it. Close your launch settings here. And then go and check your Windows. You should be able to see a local profile here. Now go ahead and turn on your Android device. If it's sleeping right now, go to developer options and just toggle the USB debugging mode. Click on OK and then say allow. And let's close this guy here. And you can see it's still not working for me. All right, next thing we'll do is to check our project property like this and see what's going on in here. You can see that the target framework is meant to be built for Windows here. Now we're going to have to modify this because you can see my Android, the framework is at the bottom here. We're going to have to move it up here. Let's close this guy here and then go to the File Explorer here. Right click on your project. Look for Load File Explorer. Once that's done, a Windows Explorer should come up like that. You're going to have to open this on a notepad like this. My notepad here, I'm going to just drag this over here. As you can see that it's got this Windows build up here. It's going to cause a bit of confusion here. So what you're going to do is basically you're going to copy this text, which I'm going to place it on the description of this video, and basically replace that. You can see what's going to happen here. It's going to say Android exclusively here, iOS, and this is going to be for the Mac, and Windows is going to be the secondary one here. After that, go ahead and press Ctrl S to save. And let's minimize our text editor and this guy here. As you can see that the Visual Studio is a bit unhappy right now. What you're going to have to do is either reload the project, and also I'm going to close my Visual Studio for a sec and relaunch my Visual Studio one more time and open my project here. And then reconnect your device back to your Visual Studio. Click on OK and allow the USB debugging key here. You can see that the Android local device is detectable on your Visual Studio.